that's where we went. And we walked all the way out of that holler, you know. I took 3 miles, 4 miles, and all of us eat out of one dinner pail. It was a round dinner pail, and it had sections in it, you know, different sections. And milk, we'd take it in a jug, big jug, you know, 1 or 2, depending on how many of the kids, you know. And school, you couldn't leave it, we'd have to set it in the water, sprang for creek was by. And you eat lunch, there's so many potatoes here and cornbread and stuff like that, of course, meal. And had Bernie Iron's son there, Arthur, we took charge, get it like food. We all took a hike up on the hill and left the school and Yellowjack's nest. And under this ivy bush, he knew it was there at night. He said to Arthur, he said, hey, you can't even jump over that bush. He said, I know you can. He did. They covered him, boy. But did that teacher get after us, I tell you? It was something else now. They ain't lying to you. But we walked a long ways to go to school there. And like that button sheep I told you, I think that Elle put her through a paling fence. I mean, it was mean. It'd run you had to climb trees or get out of the way of it, you know. Now, Roxanne, I don't know if this is true or not, that it's this, but it could be, but I've never seen it. It says Mulder's brother there took a double bitted axe and stuck it in a tree and put a hat on it and took off. That buck took after him. He ran behind the tree and hit that axe. But they was going to kill him anyway. Dad wanted to kill him to have mutton anyway. But I was sure now that was done.
That's how he killed it.
Yeah. But that's where young heifers down there, they get an apple orchard and eat little green apples and die, you know, couldn't swallow them. And then you'd have to clean them and can them, you know, and because, like I tell you, you fight for anything you got. And come spring, I hate to see spring come. Dad had a bunch of geese and ducks, and you had to take and pull the feathers out of them. I mean, all the feathers, yeah, what a job. Because they lose them anyway. And feathers, you're pretty good money in feathers, you know, to make pillars and one thing and another at that time. And I never could stand the smell. I mean, really, it was something else. And the reason I was laughing about that, your grandmother, mom's,
Oh, my God.
yeah. She for one Thanksgiving, she had us come down for dinner. And she was going to fix a goose. And your mom says, well, I didn't want to eat that goose. She says, when I fix it, you won't even know what it is. So I went down, we went. And Buddy, I took a big piece and got it on the plate. The scent hit me. I just took a hold, put it right back where it was. And your mom laughed, says, I told you. But that smell, I couldn't eat it because of that smell.
Right. Because you never forgot.
Honey, I never forgotten. It burned in there, bones and everything. But what a smell that you had to do that. There was nothing, honey. I don't know what's the same tonight. Oh, yes. Dad get at you and everything. It doesn't make no difference. If a sheep was to get killed, the dogs killed a bunch one time, old sheepdog. And they'd be laid there maybe 3 days, a week, and you'd have to go get the wool off of them. And you know what that smelled like?
I can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, that was terrible. But that, you either got it or wish you had. I mean, now we was that much scared, I tell you about it now. It was something else. Man, I hated that. Then if old Sal's going to have pigs or anything, you'd go out and sit up with her all night. What you'd have to have rags and that to wipe them off and that to keep from relying on them or stuff like that. If a young heifer going to have a calf, you had to help. I mean, all of that stuff. Harshness, you had to handle it. We had Had a bunch of woolly goats. We used to ride them things. These smelled too, but they had these big horns. They went out this way. The the the, the males,
Mhm.
the females, of course, went up the other way. And boy, these stumble, we'd have a ball jumping on riding. Well, we ride the cows. We ride the cows too. I mean, when we was herding them, we'd ride them off the hills, anything. They'd throw us off and jump. Wouldn't bother us. Boy, I tell you, you'd be surprised. What were you into, buddy? Them old goats used to hit the little ones. We'd have to go look for them.
Mm.
And we had a old red mule, Roxanne, that, oh, he raised the whole family. I mean, he was a mule now. And that mule, what it did, the mare we had, named old Patsy, they named her, kicked him and hit him right in the front shoulder, sort of broke his leg, kicked him there. And if a sheep could go have a lamb, that mule would find and kill that lamb. If a cow to have a little, he'd find her and kill her. Pig or anything like that. He'd break the barn down, he'd know. And it was amazing what that did. He started to go across a creek where the washed off the rocks and it's like slate. And he went across there and he fell. That's where he got killed.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, he didn't drown, honey. It was too thin. He killed himself on the rock. Couldn't get up, after that. But my oldest brother was pound fitting, and that red mule was sort of stubborn. He grabbed that mule by his ear. Well, I tell you, yeah. He used to come down, and old Mondo stay down at the lower place. If we wanted some candy from the store, old John Maynard Hale, he'd want to grind the corn out to the mouth of the holly.
Mhm.
So, me and Mondo would make it up. We'd catch 3 or 4 chickens. And which Dad didn't know what was going on, but we'd give them to our oldest brother, and he'd go out there, and he'd bring back the goodies,
Yeah.
for us. Because they were up the upper place, to
Right.
the lower place.
So what kind of candy did he get?
Honey, I can tell you peppermint. The only thing I think of is peppermint sticks, and they used to call it whoreham sticks or some thing, and all that. But it's always sticks, never with that. And we used to get away with that. Anyway, Dad remembers I was telling him making that moonshine. Well, I even hella led them old. Lead was made out of lead with a glass in the inside, the can that was in.
Oh.
And when it was making that moonshine, it just come out in a little tiny stream, a little bigger than needle, just little stream. Because when that steam went through the worm, it was down it merged in the water in the barrel. So he'd cool that steam, and that's what went into the moonshine alcohol.
Okay.
And I'd taste it with that candy at there. And I remember, I think it's half a pint was in the kitchen, old kitchen, and Charles Mondo started laughing. He says, ain't nobody could drink that without stopping the whole thing. Well, I can do it. I did. And I was up by the house of the road, and just went out like a light. They didn't even know what was the matter with me. I mean, yes, Mondo, he'll tell you that there. Boy, I'll tell you something else.
You just passed out.
Yeah. And Dad used to smoke old Camels and steal them cigarettes and try to smoke them. I tried to smoke one time, but I about died, made me so sick. My mom, she chewed tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a brown mule, they call it, the cakes. Mondo chewed it. Mondo told me, he said, Lonnie, it ain't bad. He taught me into it, and I tried it. I swallowed some of the juice. Boy, was I ever sick. I thought I was going to die, boy. Hey, that. Yes, sir. It was something else, but no, that we was talking about Molly's Branch. Howard's Branch is just up over the mountain, you know, on the side. She was talking about Don Howard, which was a church, you know, from over there. And Doc Webb used to live over there, and he helped Dad build that upper place. I can remember hauling logs, and Sim used that to make board for the roof and all of that, you know, back then. But I was telling you the truth now about them outdoor toilets. I never, not until I come to Ohio, and then we see them. And I don't think you ever went to one over here, Dallas. I don't know where you're seated or not.
I think I was still in diapers.
But it was.
Gary wasn't even born when we
Huh?
had that. I don't think we even had Gary when we had that.
I don't know either. But
So tell me about visiting up to Uncle Grayton's. You used to tell me stories about staying with Uncle Grayton sometimes.
oh yeah, I went down there. Well, I was a young man then. I was 16 or 17 years old, and well, all these girls, there's 5, Ellis and Hisen, and I was only at that time the only guy. He wanted to go back there on this side of the mountain there and cut the weeds out of the corn. So I went with them. Them girls started laughing, carrying on, talking about the girls I had met and all this, how many girls I went with, you know, and this and that. Uncle Grayton, well, he's plowing through it to get, but they had to cut the weeds out of the middle of the corn. And he says, Lonnie, if I were you, I'd quit. I'd go down at that spring. He says the bees has got around here a tree, bee tree. It says Doc Webb, he's looked, and another guy about there trying to chase the bees down and find out where it is. I said, okay. I goes out there and flew around watching, you know, took off and went on out to the edge of the woods up there, and look, sure enough, the bees was going up there and going right down to the ground. There's a great old big log laying there, almost right. You're just going in that ground on the in that log. So I went back and told my great, and he looked at me. Lonnie, don't tell me them lies. Don't tell me them stories, buddy. He said to me, you know, that's just what he said. Honest, he just tell me that, buddy. Then Gladys' husband, Ashland, he went back and cut it open. Well, that was like a holiday for all these kids. I mean, there was, I guess, 20 or 30 kids, I mean, my age and all, out of that holler. Everyone that knows it went. Get that honey, you know, that kind of stuff. Had time. And he cut it open. Well, he took some bees and put it into another gum. And, you know, he got, I think, 2 horse full tubs of honey, 2 horse tubs, big tubs full of honey out of that. But I did find that.
So you were like the hero when you found the honey.
Oh, yeah, well, I did, you know. And then Dad, he got one time and wanted me to look for a bee tree, and I did then. I was pretty good, you know, about things like that, one thing and another. Well, I was like an animal. I stayed with them. I mean, I was in them. I was right in the house. Like I told what I did to that chicken in one thing. Now, it's the same thing, honey. I was, you know, in the woods. I know it. I know what roots to eat. I used to hunt ginseng, yellow root, red root, mayapple root, jensam leaves, and sell them. Used to pick and sell all that stuff. But I did all of that there. Half the thing, ginseng was pretty good price, go by the weight. Me and that brother of mine, we made it up, me and Mondo. I don't know why we do things like this for, but we made it up. They had these needles in the old talking machine record player. And they had these needles. We took ginseng fruits and filled them full of them needles. So it weighed more. That's terrible. I tell you. It's nothing to laugh about, but it's the truth. Yeah. And of course, when them roots start getting dry, the needles start showing out, you know. And you know, you might want to take some more ginseng. How could you take some more there if you did a thing like that? You know, oh my nose was doing something. We found a hen's nest, 12 eggs in it. And we was hungry, you know. We got us a big old can and we back and built us a fire and bought them eggs. He eat every one of them.
Jeez.
Yeah. We'd gather apples in the fall and find us a hollow tree, and we'd put them apples in there and fill it full of leaves on top and plug the hose up and go back to winter, and them apples just be just as good as they,
Mhm.
you know.
Like squirrels.
Well, sure. We did that, but I tell you, it's amazing. We know how to do it.
Yeah.
Then this old sow had, I don't know, about 8 pigs maybe, 9, and one little old runt. And Dad came out, he said, Lonnie, he says, I'll give you that little pig if you keep it from starving. Okay. I took that little pig and started feeding it. Well, we had old milk cows. We had maybe half a dozen so. And one was named Old Bessie. Well, when she was laying down, I'd take that pig over and just milk that milk in the mouth.
Mhm.
And then that pig took it. I wouldn't do it no more. It did its own. So that would do it. And so help me, Roxanne, that pig got this big, and it was prettier than all the rest of them.
Mhm.
And it followed that cow through the pasture and sat on its butt and take that milk from the cow. I'm not lying to you a
No, I
bit.
believe it.
You ask Mondo, he'll tell you. And Dad didn't know what's happened to the cows. You know me. That pig sure got fat. Yes, it did. You know, Mondo's life died wasn't too long ago. I don't know when it was, about that heifer. Dad gave me that little calf. I raised up to a big heifer, you know, like that.
Mhm.
I taught that calf, don't you tell me you can't teach him. I taught her, and she was this high, and he'd lay down on his side and going under fence, this wire fence this high. I'd go under that wire fence and he'd follow me. He'd lay down and kick its way right through and under there and hit a big heifer.
Huh.
That was amazing how to do that. But that's a fact. You can learn an animal anything.
Mhm.
Watching you, it doesn't matter. You can. He'd lay down and just like, you know, kick its way, scoot itself right that fence.
Isn't that something?
I'd do that because the grass on the other side was nice and high and green. You know,
Mhm.
you go over there. It's amazing what we do get into. Me and old Mono was always together though, about into pretty much everything. Rabbit hunt, squirrel hunt. We'd smoke animals out of the tree. Yeah. We used to, man, I tell you, everything we get our hands on. Got into it with a skunk one time. That was a terrible thing. Man, oh man.
How'd that happen?
Well, we set a trap for rabbit, and the skunk got in it,
Oh.
and we had to get the trap back.
Yeah.
We had to get it back. Now, it made no difference what happened, but we had to get the trap back. Because that's where Dad was, you know. Couldn't lose it. But been in a lot of things together. Oh yeah. But Roxanne, honey, when you grow up like that, it's something else.
Mhm.
And we climb trees now. And we holler about these kids now. We climb trees and get squirrels. And wonder if they've been killed. The tree's half rotten and up there about 25, 30 feet.
Mhm.
I fell out of an apple tree one time getting big apples up to the top of the tree. But what it is, a limb, I was on top of it, and the limb broke, and I rolled the limb down.
Oh.
But that was just luck.
Mhm.
In swings, we'd make swings out of grapevine. We'd just take one of the mountains over here, and the vine went up to the tree.
Mhm.
We cut it off to the bottom. We'd get up on this hill and swing clear across on the other side. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And made us a board scooting board like you do in snow, like toboggan.
Mhm.
But down there, the clay it was you kip on and you just took a board about this wide, and then we put a strip in the front where you put your feet again,
Mhm.
and we take it up on this steep hill, and get on that thing, go down. First few times it wouldn't go down very fast, but boy, when you went down there and that wheel, the board got a little bit, it'd fly just like it was on snow, right in the summertime.
Huh.
You know, like I was telling you, like clay, you know, and that.
Mhm.
But that side of the hill was just polished, just like glass, man, and so was that board, man. Sure, it'd go over that hill. But boy, look how much walking you had to do, all the way back that hill to give you butter right down to the bottom of it. Yes, them kids, you wonder why kids won't do it, but they did. Yes, sure enough. Yeah. And